The great thing about Don is that anyone who knows him will tell you he always gives you the straight scoop. His stories are outlandish, unbelievable, but all true. All right, so what did you do a couple years ago back in New York City?
I went down to that reunion they had there. That was in 2010, yeah.
That's Don number 26. And that was the new Yankee Stadium. He hadn't been back to New York to see that.
The pants are too big.
He's his hardest critic. What was it like to be in the new stadium? Is it a lot bigger?
I like the old one better. And the new stadium, that in between innings, they got that rock and roll crap on. Who wants to hear that?
This was the anniversary of the 1950 World Championship team. Yeah. Who else was there?
Whitey Ford, Reggie Jackson. He wouldn't shake my hand. He came through and I said, "Well, hey, Reggie, I seen you on MacGyver. Remember MacGyver at the show?" Well, Reggie was on. I said, "You're pretty good in MacGyver." He said, "Who in the hell are you?" I said, "I've been around." So Whitey said, "Hey, this guy's a good pitcher in his day, so just be quiet."
Here's another shot of the same day, and that's Don on the upper right there.
Oh, I look like a walrus.
And here he is. Here's the news. Signs with the Yanks. Just a baby.
16.
You know, tell that story about, you were saying, I think, between maybe 8th grade and 9th grade, you really physically got stronger. And do you remember the summer job you were telling me about?
Yeah, summer job. I worked at Vernon Park. It's Alberta Park. And I had a machine that I had to move along with a big
lawnmower.
Wrist. And I got stronger than hell there because I wasn't very fast when I was 15. I used that machine and next year, Pongo. I didn't care. Let it go. Right?
Yeah. Okay, so he signs with the Yankees and he starts in the farm system. So here we are, Don, in Kansas City.
Oh, God, yeah, I remember that. We got $3 a day to eat on, and all we could do was White Castle hamburgers. That's all we could eat.
You were telling me, what's his name, Spud?
Spud Chandler? He's the guy that put the bull snake in my bed. Yeah.
And he played for the Beavers, right?
Yeah, Spud Chandler with the Yankees. Good pitcher, but he hated rookies. And the first time there, he got this bull snake and put it in the bottom of my bed. I went to bed and there's that thing. They have heads like that, big heads. Well, it was going to kill me. Well, I got to New York, and I was supposed to. All the guys were in the hotel New Yorker, so I was supposed to catch the bus out to the Yankee Stadium the next day. But I got on the D. I missed the bus. I got on the D train. And I got off in Harlem. And I got off that train and people looking, the guy said, "You got to get out of here." So I walked across the street, and who's there? Sugar Ray Robinson, bar. So I knocked at the door, and he come out there and he says, "Oh, God, you got to get out of here." So he put me in his Cadillac, took me around the stadium. What a nice guy he was. Sugar Ray, what a fighter.
What better escort to the Bronx Yankee Stadium for the first time? Sugar Ray Robinson drops him off.
Yeah, he dropped me off there. Gave him seats. He says, "If you ever get lost again, stop in." Nice guy. I got his autograph. He flunked everything in school too. He didn't care. He's got 10 World Series rings. 10. He could hit. That guy was a good hitter.
Now, he showed up fresh off the boat practically, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a sailor suit on. He had a Navy fatigues. So Yogi had 2 suitcases, one of Navy fatigues, and all full of comic books. Every one. Yeah, he was quite a hitter.
And you roomed with him in St. Petersburg.
Yeah, I saw him get married. He's still married to the same girl, 73 years.
Yeah.
Carmen. He had a son named Dale Barra. He was Pittsburgh. They hit the drugs, and when he hit the drugs, it's over. Forget it. It's over.
This is Joe D.
Oh.
So this leads to the next.
He's the best I've ever seen, Joe. He always took me around. And when we go on road trips, he called my room. He said, I want you up in my room. I want you to sit there with me. So I go to his room and I sit there for hours. 2-3 hours. He'd stare out the window. You know. And then we go to a movie. He could not walk on the street. People would completely mob him. That's how famous he was. Joe.
Don, describe this as his mean face. You gotta have that as a picture.
Well, as a picture, you gotta look mean once in a while. You can't walk out and be a little Lord Fauntleroy, right? You gotta rear back and let it go. You know. Here, hit it.
We got an interesting photo here in Havana. Who's that picture?
Castro. That's Fidel Castro. And he was a good pitcher. He had good stuff. He played with the University of Havana and also the Havana Sugar Kings in winter ball.
So you pitched against him?
Oh, yes. I was a good friend of his. Fidel Castro.
But things kind of changed.
Yeah, when he got into power, put these young kids on the dugout with submachine guns. There are 5 or 6 of them sitting there with a submachine gun. There you are. What are you going to do? I caught the first plane to the States right the next day. I wasn't going to hang around there. No way.